Writer and director Ed Burns caught our attention in such films as The Brothers McMullen, She's the One, and Sidewalks of New York. And now he's taking on the role as mobster Bugsy Siegel in the new television drama Mob City, which premieres Wednesday on TNT. And Ed is joining us from this morning from New York City with all the details. Mr. Burns, real pleasure to talk to you, sir. I'm a huge fan.
Hey, Chad. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Mob City, it's a 3-week television event set in post-World War II Los Angeles. Can you tell us more about the story?
Yeah, I play Bugsy Siegel, sort of infamous gangster of the time, who was running the L.A. rackets. And Neil McDonough plays another real-life character, the police chief of the LAPD, a guy named Parker. And Parker made it his goal to not only take down the mob, but to also clean up his own very corrupt police department. Mm-hmm. What Frank Darabont, the guy who created our show, who also created, Green Mile, Shawshank Redemption, The Walking Dead, he took those sort of historical figures and married them to some fictional characters that he created. Mm-hmm. John Bernthal's character is sort of the hero of our story, is a cop who's stuck between the good guys and the bad guys. And that's, I guess, all I'm allowed to say at this point.
There you go. Yeah, I don't want to give away too much. Well, most of us are familiar.
Don't want to give it away.
Yeah, exactly. So, we know in various degrees a bit about Bugsy Siegel. So what kind of research did you do to prepare for this role?
I was pretty familiar with Bugsy and the fact that, he ran the LA mob and he was credited with, starting Las Vegas and the Flamingo Casino. I did not know that he was originally from Brooklyn. For me as an actor, usually when I'm hired, if I'm not playing a character from New York, they want me to sort of get rid of my accent, which isn't always so easy for me. So I was happy to see that no accent work was required in this. But Frank's big note to me was, this is a guy who is larger than life. So in every scene, every room that he walks into, you've got to own that space, dominate the situation, whether it's being charming, with the ladies, or when it's time to be a homicidal maniac, you have to be the baddest of the bad. Mm-hmm. And as an actor, when those are your marching orders, you're in for a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you said, Bugsy Siegel, a lot of us know, he was very charismatic. And, I'm sure that there's a lot that you can tie into, especially both being from New York. So in other ways, how did you make this role your own, Ed?
One thing I did was I purposely did not look at anyone else's portrayal of Bugsy. You don't want that sort of informing your decisions as an actor. But I have to give, a lot of the credit to Frank. The scripts were so good. Every scene is so rich, and the dialogue, as we said at one point, is so delicious. Like, all the actors, he just gave us great words to say every day on set. So with that, you then just try and bring a little bit of, a little bit of your own stuff to that. And I guess that was the approach.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like you said, guys like Frank Darabont, they are legends in the industry and amazing filmmakers. So let me ask you, when you play a villain, you play a mobster, a bad guy, a lot of times it's hard to find something that you like, maybe looking for a substitution or something. So Ed, what did you learn to like about Bugsy during this process?
Anytime you play a bad guy, you can't approach it like you're playing a bad guy. You've got to try and, you've got to fall in love with your character. Mm-hmm. Maybe make some excuses for that behavior. But, this is a guy who was very loyal to his childhood friends. The guys that he comes up with who started this LA mob are all guys that he was friends with. So there is that, the honor among thieves, the loyalty that these gangsters had with one another. And, here's a guy that was the mastermind behind Vegas. So this is not a dummy. This is a guy who's a pretty smart businessman. You know, that said, he had a very short temper and did a lot of terrible things, and it ended up costing him in the end.
Right, right. Well, so Ed, just we're running short on time here, so I want to ask you. No, you're triple threat Hollywood. You're an actor, writer, director. Brothers McMullen, one of my favorites, and I've always respected that work because it was all you. So let me ask you, what else is in the wings for you that we can see in the near future?
Well, one thing I'm writing now is actually a prequel to Brothers McMullen, set in 1984. But I'm still writing that, so that's not going to happen anytime within the next year. What is happening this year is, because I had such a great time working with TNT on Mob City, I've now created a new show for them that we're going to shoot in February. It's called Public Morals, and it takes a look at a group of cops in New York in the 1960s as that city is shifting towards a much more violent and gritty 1970s.
Okay. That's fantastic. Well, the music to my ears, a prequel to Brothers McMullen. I can't wait to see that. Well, so Mob City premieres Wednesday night on TNT, folks. Don't miss it. Ed, thank you for your time this morning. Best of luck with the show.
Hey, Chad, thanks for having me.
Thank you.